Hey, what's up? Cage, the hot rod hooligan barber, back with you again. This video we're going to go over one of the other projects. I think we're going to go over the 40 Mercury today. Picked up this car out of East Tennessee, upper East Tennessee. It took me about 3 hours to go pick it up. It's a very rough car. 40 Mercury is actually one of my dream cars. Like I said though, this one is very, very rough. So with that being said, I don't feel bad cutting it up. I'm going to make it nice. I want to do all the rust repair, but I don't feel bad about making it a custom. Thing about a 40 Mercury, I think from the factory they're a very ugly car, but once they've been chopped, they've become one of the best looking cars. But anyways, without any further ado, here's my 40 Mercury coupe. Like I said, I'll post some pictures from the day I picked it up. But she's a very, very rough 40. You can see somebody at one point had cut this out. Looks like they probably cut it with a torch and didn't quite get it cut out. I got to fix that. Frame's been hacked on. All that'll get repaired. I will probably make a new firewall as opposed to patching all those holes and the part that's been cut out with a torch. Lucky me, right? You can see you have front cowl panel, very rusty. I'll end up making my own new running boards. Floor pan, I guess that light's dead. Anyway, floor pans are pretty much shot. They're Bluetooth through most of it, especially here in the back. That's a 39 transmission cover. I got to fill in the hole. I'm going to make it work for the 40. There's a little bit of a difference in the 40s and the 39. Lower quarter panel shot. Whole quarter panel itself is getting a little thin, but I bought a set of doors. Actually bought a bunch of parts off a 40 Mercury 4-door sedan. Over there's 3 of the doors. Got the front clip off that sedan. Anyways, the rear sedan doors are wider than the quarter there, so that whole skin makes a perfect quarter panel patch for the upper or front part of the quarter. So that, that's real good quality. I mean, it's dent free, very solid. I'll just have to make the little piece that runs underneath. There's the original, the hood that came with it, but I've got a better hood over here hidden behind this auction panel. This hood here, I mean, it's pristine. Got a little surface rust, nothing major. Got a little bit of a dent here, but that's about it. The underside of this thing, I mean, it's perfect. Whereas the other one, it's I think this brace here is actually rotted out. Got a real good set of inner fenders. A good set of fenders up there. One of them's got a good whiskey dent in the front. I'm picking up another set. The original set's out back and they're rotten, ain't worth a flip. This set here is real good. One of them's perfect, but I've got a line on another set I can get real cheap. I'm gonna go pick those up. It's always good to have extra sheet metal. Let's see, the rear trunk, as you can see, is just it's also shot. Package tray area is gone. There's going to be a lot of repair. Even around this back window catwalk area is starting to rust out. So I will be rebuilding quite a bit of this one. I mean, the inner rear fender wells are, for the most part, they're there, but they've got some rot. Right in there, down there. As you can see, I've already got the body kind of braced up. I did that, and actually the floor, I've got the body separated from the floor. You can see right in there. So when I start this build, what we're going to do first thing is just like building a house, man, you want a strong foundation. So body's going to come off, going to body dolly or set off in the corner, something like that. First thing we're going to do is build new floors, new what are those things called? Sill plates, basically. Build all that. Matter of fact, I've got the floors started here. It's actually got the proper taper. There's another one here. It's hard to see it. Anyways, that's a 4-foot section. And then another smaller, I think 20 some odd inch section. So the 4-foot section of that floor goes from right there where the back seat started. Oh, bless me. Up to about right in here somewhere, maybe up a little bit, and then the other little pieces to mainly get the toe board and just a little bit of that last bit of the transmission tunnel. I already got those started. I've got to just put the bead rolls in them, trim them down to fit. The rear floor is going to be a little trickier to make. The front's the easy part. On this car, I mean, I said she's getting chopped, but like I said, we're going to start at the bottom. Once we get the floors done, next thing will be fix any of the lower door posts, A and B posts that need repaired. Fix the lower rockers, lower quarter. So we'll get all that fixed, and we'll just kind of start working our way up. Once we get those lowered, they get the door post fixed, then we can, I'll probably end up making this, make a whole new skin for this section here. This has actually got a nice little crease in it, plus the metal's getting kind of thin. The top, unfortunately, I mean, this car's rough. I probably paid a little more than I should have for what it is, but it's still savable. This lip is getting a little thin. Actually getting ready to purchase a, look at that Woodward Fab Power Hammer. It's like a little mini Pull Max. So we'll end up making a whole new window surround, front and rear, and I'll end up making this lower trim piece that goes around the door. The actual gutter moldings on this one have actually completely rotted off on both sides. So when I actually go to do the top, when you go do this chop, I'm actually going to split this roof through here anyways. I want to make this piece here custom to the shape of the chop. A lot of people, when they chop these, they take a little section out here, and they'll take and they'll pie cut this little section here, kind of give them a little curve and all that. I'm just going to go ahead and make a whole new one, make it flow perfectly, and then we'll probably end up doing whole back half of the roof. Like I said, I got right in the B post. That's plans as far as how we're going to tackle the car. The actual overall goal, it's going to be a traditional custom, getting a static drop. I'll send the front axle off, I think it's at Anson, North Carolina. They do an axle drop, I think, on these 40 Mercury 40 Fords. You can drop them. It's either 2 or 2.5 inches. Might even just be 2 1/4. But that's all you can actually drop those axles. I'll send them the axles and the steering arms to get those dropped. So it gives us a couple inches drop there. Then we'll run a reverse eye leaf spring up front. Different leaf pack. Metal gets a little bit lower there. Maybe even some slightly longer shackles in the front. Just anything, just get that front end down just a little bit. And then the rear is going to get like a Pete and Jake style ladder bar suspension. Drivetrain, we're doing, like I said, I'm keeping it traditional and old school. I might change the rear. But right now we're looking at like a completely 50 Mercury drivetrain as far as the rear end and the transmission. I've got a 3-speed with overdrive. Got that Borg Warner, cable operated overdrive on it. Early Ford. I've got the Y-block to Ford adapter Gonna be running a Y block Ford or Mercury. You've probably seen them sitting in the car. There's a set of Y block valve covers. Got a dual 4 intake. There's the valve covers. Of course, that's not the color that things getting painted. Those as the color they were when I bought them. But like I said, we'll be running those dual 4 intakes, stainless headers. So gonna make a real nice, pretty motor, real traditional, and just a cruiser. I have considered the thought. Like I said, I like to drive my stuff. I don't like trailer queens or anything like that. So I've considered. Oops, sorry. I've considered about actually putting a Mustang 2 front suspension in it. I've even thought about bagging it. I do like my airbags. Right now I'm on this one. I am leaning towards a static drop, and like I said, just keeping everything traditional. I just think that would be cool. Make it look like a vintage, like a Survivor, kind of like a car that was customized back in the day, and then has, you know, maybe had a couple small renditions. Like basically somebody took a 40 Mercury coupe, done all their custom mods, chopped it, whatever. And then they put in a 50 Mercury drivetrain, rear end, transmission, and the flathead. And then later on upgraded to another Mercury engine, the Y block. That's kind of the thought process behind my build. So I'd like to keep it as pretty much original as I can. So the thought of the Mustang 2, I was just kind of considering it, but I think I'm going to keep it factory. Check this out. Look at this little baby sway bar. I mean, my finger is bigger than this thing. But still a sway bar. That's original. Somebody, you can see it already put the aftermarket shocks on it. I've got the upper shock supports for it. I've got a couple boxes here just full of parts. Got a pristine 40 grill that'll go in it. But like I said, yeah, it's rough. So I don't want to hear, I'm sure there's still going to be, even as rough as this is, once I go to start chopping it and stuff, people, oh, you ruined it, you ruined it. I don't want to hear it. This car, like I said, this is a prime candidate to me for a custom because of how rough it is. Now, if this was a really nice car, I would feel guilty about cutting it up. But it's not a nice car. So I don't feel guilty. I'm not going to feel guilty. So, like I said, this one to me is perfect for doing this. So, I'm not sure where this project is going to wind up in the lineup. Like I said, right now I'm concentrating on my 51 shoebox. I think one of the next ones after the shoebox is going to be my 58. I got a 58 F800, which we'll cover here in a minute. But I might go back and forth between the 58 and the 40, you know, do a little work on one, a little work on the other. Especially if, you know, 51 is out of the garage and parked in the other one, it frees me up some room. I can have both of them in here. Matter of fact, once the 51's front clip is off that body dolly, my 58 cab will go on it, so it'll be in here to be worked on. But yeah, that's the plan on the 40 Mercury. I said that is a dream project. You can see it's kind of buried in the back right now. I've seen the pictures now. Hopefully I've put them up of what this thing looks like. I am on the lookout. I do need help. I've got a line on a better set of doors, so I'm not worried about doors. And like I said, I've also got those stand doors. I can cut those up and use those to help repair my doors. Deck lid, a 39 or 40 Mercury deck lid is something I most definitely need. Here's my deck lid. It is she's shot. I mean, I might be able to make some patterns off of it and attempt to make one, but I don't know. It's gonna be rough. I'm gonna have enough challenge. Like I said, I've got to, you know, make. I mean, the lip on this one is almost completely rotted off. So luckily I'm looking at buying I think it's a Woodward Fab Power Hammer, like a little mini Pull Max, and that'll help with making new gutters and yada yada. So we'll go from there on that. But that's the 40 Mercury. So anyway, stay tuned for progress on it. So like, comment, subscribe. Anyways, that's enough YouTube for today, man. Get off your ass, go out in the garage and build something.